I call the meeting of the San Juan Unified School District Board of Education to order. There are two closed session items on tonight's agenda. First, collective bargaining matters, discussion with negotiator Daniel Thigpen, Senior Director of Labor Relations regarding CSEA, Chapter 127, General Operations Support, and chauffeurs, Teamsters, Local 150, Transportation Supervisors and Teachers and certificated supervisory units, and regarding non-represented groups, management and confidential units under Government Code Section 54957 sub 6. The second is personnel matters related to Government Code Section 54957, superintendent search and public employee appointment and employment superintendent. We do not have any speaker cards. Therefore, we will go directly into closed session and we will open again at 6:30. I call the meeting of the San Juan Unified School District Board of Education back to order. The meeting is being audio and video recorded, and the recording may capture sounds and images of those attending this meeting. The recording will be posted on the district website. Board meetings are being held in person in the boardroom at the district office, and the public is welcome to attend. Alternatively, the meeting may also be viewed on the district's YouTube channel where it is being live streamed. Please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Casa Roble Fundamental High School Air Force ROTC.
Form, color guard. Ready, face. Present, arm. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arms. Ready, face. Forward, arch.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome. I am Michael McKibben, Board President. To my right is Ms. Zima Creason, Board Vice President. And to her right is Ms. Pam Costa, Board Clerk. And to her right is Mr. Saul Hernandez and Ms. Paula Viasquez, Board Members. To my left, sitting in for Superintendent Ken Kern, is Chief of Staff Trent Allen. And to his left is Board Administrative Assistant Stephanie Cunningham. Individuals who are attending the meeting in person and would like to offer a public comment we ask that you complete a speaker request card available at the staff table, and you will be called on at the appropriate time during the agenda. Please note that bylaw 9323 limits visitor comments to 2 minutes per speaker, with no more than 30 minutes on a single topic. Time will be extended to any speaker who uses an interpreter. Please be aware that public comments, including your name, become part of the record. We first go to approval of minutes. And for August 23rd, are there any corrections to the minutes? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Fiasco, seconded by Ms. Creason. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that was unanimous. We move now to item E. And that is recognition of the 2023 Certificate Employees of the Year, Mr. Orpalo.
Great pleasure this evening to recognize our students and teachers of the year. Before we get started, I'd like to welcome Mr. Rotc, President of the San Juan Teachers.
I just wanted to quickly congratulate both Nicolette and also Logan in being San Juan Unified's Teachers of the Year. Quite an impressive achievement, and Logan, for you to continue on is amazing. And for both of you, your skill set and your passion, your dedication to our craft, to our profession, to your colleagues, and especially to your students, that's what makes San Juan Unified so amazing. So on behalf of the association, I do want to thank you for representing all of our teachers for the great work that they're doing. Congratulations once again, and thank you.
Thank you, Barry. I'd also like to acknowledge the president of the San Juan Teachers Association, Ms. Shannon Brown, for being here tonight. Thank you for being here, Shannon. So these two extraordinary Teachers of the Year came through to us through nominations from staff, students, and community. They embody the commitment of the excellence that San Juan teachers are and we have in this district. They are positive and effective instructional models and role models. Our first Teacher of the Year is Logan Grissom. And Logan began working at San Juan Unified 10 years ago and has spent his entire career at John Barrett Middle School. Would you stand, please? Aside from teaching science and art, Logan is the school music director, track coach, mathematician, engineering, science, and achievement advisor for the students. Congratulations on your nomination. Nicole, would you stand? So Nicolette Pulley began working with the San Juan Unified School District 8 years ago and has spent her entire career with the district. Nicolette has taught at Ottoman and Mariposa Elementary Schools. She has provided professional development to site, staff, training for instructional assistants to implement reading, and has provided on-campus support for K-3 teachers, completing language essentials for teachers of reading and spelling. Congratulations, Nicolette. I would like to note that both Logan and Nicolette competed for the Sacramento County Office of Education Teacher of the Year Award, and Logan was selected to represent Sacramento County at the state level. Would you like to say a few comments to either one of our teachers here? I'd like to this time invite you up to the podium if you'd like to have a comment. These two amazing individuals are representing the district and have done an amazing job. We are extremely proud of both of you. I had the pleasure of having Logan in my class last semester at SCOE Instructional Leadership Group, and he is an outstanding student. We look forward to hearing about what you're going to do in the future. I also want to acknowledge that we have the principals from both Teachers of the Year. Would you raise your hands? Congratulations on the work that you're doing at your schools as well, and thank you for being here to support your teachers. So on behalf of the San Juan Unified School District, congratulations to the 2023 Teachers of the Year, Logan Grissom and Nicolette Pulley. Well, we also have I understand that Mr. Kern was there to take Logan's class recently. Just out of curiosity, Logan, how did Mr. Kern do in his service to the Barrett Middle School? Again, thank you. One more time, a round of applause for our teachers. Thank you, Dr. McKibben.
Thank you. We are now at item E2, high school student council reports. Tonight, we will hear from student representatives from Bella Vista and Mesa Verde High School. Welcome. Let's begin with Ashley and Navia from Bella Vista.
President McKibben, members of the board, Mr. Allen, Miss Cunningham. Good evening, President McKibben, members of the board, Mr. Allen and Miss Cunningham. I am Ashley Haro and this is Navia Akarwani, and we are the social and cultural representatives from Bella Vista High School. Thank you for inviting us to share all the amazing things happening at Bella Vista.
Students are excited to be back on campus as this is our first normal school year since 2019. The Link crew welcomed incoming freshmen and all students on the first day of school. The positive energy radiated throughout the halls and led to our first rally and home football game on August 26th. At the rally, our homecoming theme of Toys R Us was revealed. Each class has their individual theme. Seniors are Barbie, juniors are Hot Wheels, sophomores are Legos, and freshmen are Play-Doh. The student government is working hard to prepare for the homecoming night rally on October 11th and the homecoming football game on October 14th, where each class will present their homecoming floats. We would like to extend the invitation to come to our fun and festive homecoming football game as it is one of our most attended events throughout the school year. The following day will be our homecoming dance in our large gym, October 15th. This is our first homecoming back on campus since 2019, and we hope to make it the best yet.
Fall sports are continuing their season even through this crucial heat. All sports practices and games were canceled the past week due to the dangerous heat and air quality. We value the health of our athletes and want to ensure their safety. Sports have begun again this week and will continue until the end of October, finishing the fall season. As the social and cultural representatives, we have organized this week to be Suicide Prevention and Awareness Week. We're passing out wristbands to everyone and giving a short speech to provide resources in every class during the fourth period. We also organize meetings with students who express interest in having discussions on our monthly focus topics. We are looking forward to continuing this monthly focus topic throughout the year and hope to make a difference on campus. On September 21st, our school will hold a student voice forum where 80 students from different backgrounds will be asked to discuss multiple topics and ways to make our campus and education a better place.
On September 2nd, our school had our annual club day where we offered 50 different clubs. Students were able to sign up at lunch. 20 new clubs were started this year and over 30 have continued. One of the most popular new clubs were the Asian Student Union and BV Tutoring. Staff is excited to launch BV Tutoring as students will now be integrated into the classrooms to help on a daily basis. Students will be tutoring during 0th, 5th, 6th, and after school. We had soft launched this program last year, and due to its great success, it was made an official club this year.
On October 8th, our annual craft fair will be held at Bella Vista. This is our most popular event with over 200 vendors and hundreds of volunteers coming every year. This is one of the students' favorite events to engage with the community and give back through service. We encourage the whole community to attend this event and have a good time.
Bella Vista is well known for holding events in order to connect with the community. On October 26th, we will hold our annual Halloween extravaganza, where elementary students can come enjoy snacks and a haunted house. October 28th through November 5th will be our fall play called Mutually Assured Destruction. Our visual and performing arts never fail to put on a wonderful show, and we encourage you to come and watch.
As the school year proceeds, we hope to continue our various activities in order to maintain a positive culture for our students and school. Thank you so much for having us here this evening and taking the time to hear about the events happening at our school. It is an honor to represent the interests of Bella Vista High School at these meetings. Thank you.
Do any board members have comments or questions? Ms. Fiascos.
I just want to thank you both for your time and for joining us and for the very thorough report. It's just such a joy to hear about everything going on at Bella Vista, and I appreciate hearing the report out. I also want to just acknowledge and say thanks for both the Student Voice Forum that you mentioned, but also the acknowledgement of the Suicide Prevention Awareness Week. Even just talking about it, right, and making it part of the environment goes a long way, but it sounds like you all are being really proactive in that. And it's always important, but right now it feels crucially important as we try to get back to sort of quote unquote normal. So I just wanted to applaud the site for that, but also you two for coming out and telling us about it. I wrote down so many dates. I don't know if I could make all of them because then I would just be living at Bella Vista, but thank you for the reminder of the craft fair. It's where I typically pick up a couple of things for the holidays, so I'll try to swing by. And then the Halloween extravaganza sounds great, so I might try to sneak by there too because little kids in costumes is great. Thank you.
Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you for the report. Could you give me the date again for the football game? Did you say October the 11th? Is that what you said?
No, so our night rally is October 11th. So that's when we do like homecoming royalty. It's a laser show. That's the 11th. And then our homecoming football game is October 14th. So that's where we show the floats, the final royalty, and it's a big game. So we encourage you to come.
Who do we play against that day? Do you know?
I do not know that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
October 14th. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Grissom.
Mr. Hernandez covered one of my questions. Who are you playing against? First, I just want to say I love your titles, social and cultural reps. I just think that that's wonderful and so important. My son just had his first rally. He's a sophomore and he just had his first rally. So he was really excited too. So it's wonderful to hear the excitement continues throughout the district. We already covered, we're not sure who's you're playing against. Suicide prevention, this is kind of heavy. You know, as many in this room know, I've lost 2 siblings to suicide, and I used to be the president and CEO of Mental Health America of California. I'm currently on their board. So this is a topic near and dear to my heart. And so happy that we're uplifting the issues and having the conversations. It will literally save lives. Just want to let you know, there are some great mental health groups that are funded by local government and the state. SAC Youth Mental Health and the California Youth Empowerment Network, really great groups that also can provide resources to your school site. And if young folks want to get involved in statewide advocacy, they're around, they're reputable, happy to send over that information if you're interested in that. Had one more. Oh, I'm really excited about your play. I don't know what that title was about, but I'm so intrigued and I want to go. So I'm going to ask that we follow up so we can get that information on our calendars. I would love to attend. So thank you for the report. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
I had a couple of dates that I want to check. The Student Voice Forum, what was the date for that?
That is September 21st. It'll be held during school. So I'm sure you can contact our school faculty, our principal, Mr. Irwin, and he could give you the dates because he's the one leading that, but we will be there in attendance.
And the play?
The play is October 28th through November 5th. It's supposed to be about family life. That's the mutually assured destruction.
November the 5th, did you say?
Yeah, November 5th, October 28th through November 5th.
Okay. All right. Thank you both very much for all of this information, and best of luck to you both. Thank you very much. Next, we will hear from Mesa Verde High School, Jordan and Isabella.
Good evening, President McKibben, members of the board, Superintendent Kern, and Mrs. Cunningham. I'm Isabel Villarreal.
And I'm Jordan Saltonstall.
We're happy to be here on behalf of Mesa Verde High School. I'd like to start off by thanking the board for having us here tonight. This will be the first normal year Mesa has had in 4 years, and we're excited to let everyone know what we have done during the first month of school.
On our first day of school, our seniors hosted a senior sunrise, and we had a lot more people show up than expected. We all gathered on our baseball field around 5:45 a.m. to see the sunrise, and afterwards, students went out and got breakfast in groups and returned to school excited for their last first day. The following Saturday, Mesa seniors came to campus for a fun-filled morning of senior parking spot painting.
Our back to school rally was on the second day of school. Yes, we're a little crazy. And it was a huge success. Some of our student government students came in over summer to plan this, and the new students in class received a crash course in rally planning on the first day of school. We had a lot of participation from the students, and in a teacher versus student tug war, I'm glad to announce the teachers did in fact win.
Sports are in motion, and football is already having a great season. More students than ever are in the stands, and football is 3 games in, and we can report confidently our varsity team is 3-0.
Hmm.
We are having our biggest turnouts for our sports ever, selling 900 tickets for our first volleyball game and filling the stands at our away
Wow.
games. On August 30th, we had the groundbreaking ceremony for our new sports complex. Students, staff, and Mesa community as a whole is so excited for this project to be completed. Mr. McKibben, I didn't come say hi, but I definitely saw you there. I can't wait for it until it's all finished. We're excited to have a home stadium.
Here at Mesa, homecoming is our biggest dance of the school year. Since it is so important, all of us ASB students work hard to make sure our students and staff enjoy their time. This year's theme is California Dreamin'. And our spirit days and decorations will reflect on all things California. Our spirit days will be Country versus Country Club, California College Day, West Coast Wednesday, San Francisco Hippie Day, and Beach Party Day. We are working on creating new traditions like class competitions with hall decorating and strengthening old ones.
It's not all fun and games around here. We have welcomed 10 new staff members. There have been many policy changes to help encourage students to be on time and remain in class. As a result, more students are on time to all classes and less distracted from disruptions caused by students who aren't in class. The school is in the process of getting listening groups together to gather information from students regarding school culture and climate.
We know this report is short and sweet, but we're looking forward to being back in November with more to report. We would like to thank the board once again, and we are very excited to see you guys back in November.
Questions or comments? Ms. Fiascos.
Thank you both as well for joining us this evening and for the report out as well. The question I did have is, pardon my surprise, but I'm kind of surprised that the teachers won this teacher versus student tug of war. And I just wanted to see were there any injuries? Maybe the admin can report out, but I hope everybody was safe and return. Okay, great. We got thumbs up. All right. Well, there's always next time. But we look forward to seeing you all return to us in November and hearing about all the wonderful progress at Mesa. Thank you for joining us. And I will say I was able to also join the groundbreaking ceremony, and it's always fun to wear a hat and grab a shovel and throw some dirt around, but I can't wait to continue to see that develop. Thank you both.
Ms. Grissom.
Just want to say thank you for the report. And I mean, I just can only imagine how well attended your events are going to be in your new stadium. If you're already getting 900 tickets sold to volleyball, that's next level amazing and really exciting. I too would like to come check out your volleyball games. And I can't wait to be on your new field. And I appreciated you sharing about the student listening groups. That's the first I had heard that was happening at Mesa. And I think student voice is so important. You're the masters of your own lived experience and the experts in that. So your voice matters a whole lot. So I'm really excited that that's happening. And I appreciate you sharing that tonight. So thank you. And I look forward to seeing you in November.
Any other? I was curious when you talked about on time kinds of things. Can you tell us like one of the strategies that's being used to get people to come?
Yeah, tardy policy. So for our classes, as soon as the bell rings, we have a tardy policy where you gotta lock the doors. If you're out, then you'll get punishments that build up, and obviously you don't want to do that. So after a while, people just get into shape and start going to class on time.
That-
Not
It's,
slacking around.
it's
in
an
the halls.
expectation thing. then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Want to thank you both very much. I was remiss in that I did not give the board members a chance to talk to our teachers of the year and to make comments. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this is the time we want to thank you for your report, and I appreciate you are here tonight. Student voice is very important to the board. You are welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting, but we realize that you have things like homework and a life. So if you need to attend to this is a good time to return to other things that you need to attend to. But we're going to ask the rest of the group, if they want to leave, they can, but you have to stay because you have to hear about Teachers of the Year from the board. Okay, thank you. Now, as they're leaving, I wanted to ask, do any board members have any questions or comments of our two Teachers of the Year that I forgot, and I apologize.
I'll just go ahead and take the opportunity to say thank you both. It was a pleasure to be at the Teacher of the Year dinner with a number of my colleagues, and you were all up against stiff competition, but we put our best foot forward with both of you. And so thank you very much for everything that you do. I think certainly no secret that the last couple of years have been some of the most challenging. And so just an expression of gratitude for hanging in there with our kids, for our kids. Appreciate you. And Logan, I know you'll represent us well in the county, and we are at the state level rather, and we're rooting for you. Thank you.
Ms. Costa.
I just wanted to add my thanks. The students of San Juan are certainly lucky to have you both as our teachers working with kids. You represented us very well that night. And Logan, we wish you the best of luck as you move forward in the next part of this, but know that it is really just such an honor to hear about such great teaching, and you're very much appreciated. And thank you to the two principals who joined us tonight. I know your days are long and we appreciate you being here also. Thank you.
Mr. Hernandez.
I too quickly just want to thank you both. You are examples to the district on how great our teachers are. So we want to really thank you. Ms. Pulley, you have a sister who teaches in our district. Did your mom also teach as well, or? Okay, I know she's in education. So thank you for your profession and picking San Juan. We appreciate it.
Ms. Grissom.
Of course, I echo what my colleagues said, but I also just want to shout out, I learned how complicated the process is once you're nominated. And so I just want to shout out, thank you for going through the process. I hear it's a whole thing. I think it's well worth it. I know I was very proud to be a part of this district, to watch you guys, watch the two of you be recognized. So thank you for bringing us along in your journey. You are wonderful, wonderful humans, and you make the education and the learning happen in our classrooms every day. You're the people, the boots on the ground, doing it every day. And I just come with tremendous appreciation for all that you do and for going through that process.
Indeed, you did us all proud at the dinner, and thank you very much. It was very enjoyable, and it's nice to win. Okay, we are going to move on, and I'm sorry, we one more? Oh, and it's your turn. If you have other things and have a life, you're welcome to go off and do that too also. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. We are now at items E3 through E7, but we have no reports from staff, board appointed and district committees, employee organizations, and other district organizations. And there are no closed session actions to report. So we're moving now to visitor comments. I understand we do have visitor comments. I would like to remind the public that comments are limited to 2 minutes. The clock on the screen counts down the time. Under the Ralph M. Brown Act, the board is not allowed to comment on items that are not on the agenda. So we are not ignoring your comments. We just can't respond to any individual comments. The superintendent can refer items to staff who can follow up with you. Mr. Allen will read the names, and please come up, and he'll also read the next person up. So please be ready to come up when your turn comes.
Thank you, Dr. McKibben. I will read 3 names so you're ready. Our first speaker will be Ray Ward, followed by Ashley Freer, and then Kathy Anderson. Mr. Ward.
Good evening, trustees and staff members, district staff members. My name is Ray Ward. You may know that I'm running for the open seat in Area 6. And I just wanted to say that last week, as I was watching the meeting, I was a little disappointed that you decided to do an internal only search for the new superintendent. Even though I understand why you came to that decision, I still think that there's two things that often happens when you do an external as well as an internal search is sometimes you find a better candidate, but also that sometimes what you'll find out is perceptions or new ideas that even though if you don't hire that person outside, that can be implemented for a better organization. And the second thing I wanted to say is since you're starting the process early, I think that you should realize that this group could change by 2 to 5 people. So if you make a decision before the new board comes in, you're saddling them with someone that they may not agree with. Thank you for your time and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. Ashley Freer.
Hi, my name's Ashley Freer. I'm a parent and a member of Moms Demand Action. Moms Demand Action is a bipartisan group advocating for public safety measures that can protect people from gun violence. We want to partner with you on smart and effective gun safety policies within the district. In the vast majority of active shooter incidents in K through 12 schools, the shooter or shooters obtain their guns from their home or the home of relatives. Each year, 590 children die by gun suicide, most often using guns belonging to a family member. In incidents of gun violence on school grounds, 78% of shooters under,
Sorry,
that was an
continue.
old one, right?
Yes, you're fine.
78% of shooters under the age of 18 obtain their guns from their own home, a relative's home, or from a friend's. Research also shows that secure firearm storage practices are associated with up to an 85% reduction in the risk of self-inflicted and unintentional firearm injuries among children and teens. Our ask today is for the board to adopt a resolution that would require a communication to parents and guardians that explains the importance of secure gun storage and informs them about California's safe firearm storage laws. Secure firearm storage is an essential component to any effective strategy to keep schools safe. It can prevent school shootings, it can prevent child firearm suicide, and it can prevent unintentional shootings. By taking proactive steps to educate our community on secure firearm storage, we can prevent school gun violence. San Juan Unified School District passing a secure storage communication resolution is a simple thing we can do to keep our children safe. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Anderson
Oh, awesome. Good evening again. I'm Kathy Anderson. I'm the mother of 2 children in the school district. They're in 4th and 6th grade. And I became a volunteer with Moms Demand Action shortly after Uvalde. The kids, the 19 kids who were killed were the same age as my children. And I have lived in terror since then. I mean, I've always been concerned, but it just really brought home the risk to children that unsecured weapons are. I grew up hearing about my mom talking about going over and playing at her friend's house, and she was 10 years old. Her 8-year-old friend pulled a gun out of his dad's drawer and said, "Look at this," and shot her in the leg, just narrowly missing her femoral artery. This was like 70 years ago, but these things just happen over and over, day after day. And oftentimes people don't walk away from them alive. And there's just really easy things that we can do. Sending letters home to every family in the school district is a really simple thing. Telling people by California law, you are required to securely store your firearm. It's very simple. We, as parents, we sign all kinds of things at the beginning of the school year or throughout the school year. And this is just one more thing that helps our kids be healthy and safe, and our teachers too. So I know that in a year's time, the governor's bill or law will go into effect, which will actually require safe storage, communication going home. We can't wait a year. A year is another whole raft of children being lost to gun violence. And unfortunately, we are in a place in time where
Thank you.
Next, we will have Catherine Owens, followed by Mary Duplat and Shireen Miles. I apologize if I do not get your pronunciations correct. Please correct me.
Hello, good evening. My name is Catherine Owens. I have two children in the San Juan Unified School District at Mariemont Elementary. I also am the PTA president in Mariemont Elementary. I've served on the PTA for 2 years, also on the school site council for 2 years. I'm a concerned parent for my children's safety, and I support the Safe Gun Storage Resolution. California has a secure firearm storage law as a school district of 40,000 students, we need to make parents aware of these laws and the importance of secure gun storage. I would like to just address a few really key points regarding safe gun storage. Unauthorized access to firearms is a major source of gun violence among young people in the United States. Each year, nearly 350 children under the age of 18 unintentionally shoot themselves or someone else. That's roughly 1 unintentional shooting per day, and 77% of these incidents take place inside a home. An estimated 4.6 million American children live in households with at least one loaded, unlocked firearm. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Mary Duplat. I stand here not only as a volunteer with Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, but also as a gun violence survivor. My daughter was killed in a murder-suicide by gun just before she was to start college. Her boyfriend accessed the unsecured firearm that he used to kill her and himself from a relative's home. In a moment of crisis, access to a gun can be the difference between death and life. We need to focus on intervening before gun violence can occur. And one of the most important ways we can do that is by making sure that kids can't access firearms in the first place. We've already failed students if we've gotten to a point where a student has a gun in school. We all want to keep our families safe. That's why we fight for policies that are proven to reduce gun violence, protect children, and make our communities safer. No one gun law can stop all tragedies, but this resolution that we support and are here tonight to speak about is one of the easiest and most effective steps that we can take. I realize that AB 452 has been signed and will go into effect the next school year. But I say to you, let's protect the children and families here in San Juan Unified School District starting today. I urge you to support this common sense gun law safety resolution and do it in the current school year. Thank you so much.
Hi, board members. My name is Shireen Miles. I'm a resident of Carmichael. I'm a recently retired San Juan Unified Adult Education teacher. I wanted to support this process within the district. I have been personally affected by gun violence in the sense that as a young child, my playmate across the street was killed by her toddler brother because of an unsecured gun in the home. And it was very traumatizing to me as a little kid because I had big ears and I overheard a lot of stuff that happened afterwards. And no child should have to face either the direct threat of this happening, just someone playing with a gun, because children just don't know what a gun could do. So again, I just want to say, let's support this. Let's do it sooner rather than later. It would be so helpful to the safety of our children and our school district.
Next, we will have Cynthia Shallett, followed by Carol Kinzer and Suzanne Lander.
Board members, I'm Cynthia Shallett. I'm the elections lead and legislative lead for Sacramento Capital Area Moms Demand Action. And I support all the comments that have been made previously. I joined Moms Demand Action after the Parkland shooting. And I just wonder if that school district had tried to implement a policy like that, if they could have avoided that shooting. So I encourage you to pass this resolution as soon as you can. Thank you.
Hello, board members. My name is Carol Kinzer. I'm the membership lead for the Sacramento chapter of Moms Demand Action. I'm also a parent and a nurse. I work as a lifetime as a nurse trying to save lives, and I know this resolution, this gun safe storage resolution will save lives. Securing firearms protects children and adults by preventing unintentional shootings and gun suicides. So whatever we can do to save children and adults, we need to do so. So we appreciate you looking into this common sense gun law resolution. Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Kern, Mr. Allen, and the San Juan Unified School District Board of Trustees and staff. My name is Suzanne Lander, and I am a concerned parent and a volunteer with Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. I am here tonight asking for your consideration in adopting a safe storage resolution that would require a yearly communication to parents and guardians that explains the importance of secure gun storage and the legal obligations to protect minors from accessing irresponsibly stored guns. An estimated 4.6 million children live in a household with unlocked firearms. And each year, nearly 350 children under the age of 18 unintentionally shoot themselves or someone else. And 590 children die by gun suicide, mainly with a gun owned by a family member. Last year, Elk Grove Unified and Sacramento City Unified School Districts passed similar resolutions, and we hope that you will do the same to protect our children and families here in the San Juan Unified School District. Even with the passage of AB 452, which does not take effect until 2023. I hope we can agree that it's never too soon to take action to make sure that our children and our community is safe. Thank you very much.
And our final two speakers tonight will be David Martsoran and Sarah Dudley. Thank you.
Good evening, Board President McKibben and Vice President Grissom, members of the board. Can I pause for a second? I want to give Mothers Demand Action. I'm here relative to a safety concern as well. And mine is relative to heat injury illness prevention plan. I was a little disappointed this past week. I felt like San Juan's response to the unprecedented heat that we experienced last week was a little delayed. To the best of my knowledge, there wasn't anything up on the board website or any notifications that went out from the board until Wednesday, after we'd already had a record-setting heat day, and after we already knew from Sac County Public Health that there was going to be a concern for this past week. It appears that the district may have a plan, but it's not super transparent as to what the criteria are and what the thresholds are for when kids should be outside playing or participating in PE. The guidance is, at least from a parent standpoint, does not seem to be super clear. And after talking to one of my children's principals, it sounds like it's not super clear whether or not they can share that out, what guidance they've been provided. So my ask is that the board or the district come up with a really defined, clear plan, because heat injury illness is not something to mess with. it can have immediate and catastrophic effects as well. And I think that my 9 seconds left. There are other districts in the Sacramento area that had responses that were out early. So they're gonna have minimum days and such.
Thank you.
Can you hear me? Hi, good evening. My name is Sarah Dudley. I have a 9-year-old son at San Juan Unified School District. He's in the 3rd grade. I wanted to add that, as you know, as we mentioned, we will join Elk Grove and Sac City. If we pass a resolution like this, we will join those 2 neighboring districts. And in fact, failing to pass a gun safety resolution would actually put us out of step in that way with our two of our neighboring districts. So that's something we need to think about, or that you should be thinking about. Even though AB 452 has been passed, this is a way for this district right now, along with Elk Grove and Sac City, to show leadership and to get ahead of the curve and say, hey, we know this is coming, but we're going to be prepared. We're going to do this now. And I think this is a good area to show leadership like that. It's consistent with other reminders that we send parents. I get reminders as my colleagues have mentioned, my friends have mentioned, we get reminders about truancy, which is a legal obligation, but we get reminders about that not to be truant. We get reminders about homework. We get reminders about a host of other legal obligations. So it would not be inconsistent for parents to get a reminder about a legal obligation. Finally, this is a de minimis expenditure of resources. I know that resources are scarce and time and energy, but this would be de minimis. We're asking for a resolution and then essentially a piece of paper to go home with parents. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we do have one final speaker, Murad Mo Sarama.
Thank you. My name is Murad Mo Sarama, and I'm actually a candidate for School Board Area 7 in the Citrus Heights area. And I'm also a parent, most important. I'm a parent of a child in the school district. I just want to speak in support of these young ladies here tonight. And what you said, the first speaker, I'm sorry you didn't catch your name, but you said that safety or your group is non-partisan or bipartisan. Safety should not be a partisan issue. Safety should be everybody's job, should be a precondition on our school campuses. I know Mr. Allen, that's under your umbrella, and you guys do an amazing job, but we could do better by adopting this resolution, hopefully very soon. Thank you.
And that was our final speaker, Dr. McKibben.
Thank you. We now move to the consent calendar. That is item G. I understand, do any board members wish to remove any items from the consent calendar? I understand we have 2 items that are being removed. One?
Item G2.
Was it? Oh, it was G2? Okay. Is item G2 has been requested to remove, be pulled. Is there a motion to approve items G1, G3 through G9? Moved by Ms. Costa, seconded by Ms. Creason. All those in favor of approving items G1 and G3 through G9 signify by saying aye. Those opposed? That was unanimous. G2 was pulled from the consent calendar. Mr. Allen.
Dr. McKibben, staff would ask that we remove the contract for TriNet construction in the amount of $257,000 from item G2 and that you would pass the rest of G2 as amended.
Okay. Are there any questions? Okay. It has been moved that the TriNet be removed from G2 and the rest of G2 be approved.
I think it was a suggestion, but I'm happy to make the motion officially to remove the item. I so moved.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, it is unanimous. Okay, we move now on to the first of our business items, and that is I1, Cultivating Leaders Pilot Program, Dr. Calvin.
Good evening, President McKibben, members of the board, Chief of Staff Allen, and Ms. Cunningham. In this evening's report, Executive Director of San Juan's Teacher Association, Shannon Brown, President of San Juan Professional Educators Coalition, and Principal of Catherine Johnson Middle School, Damon Smith, along with Principal of Dyer Kelly Elementary School, Jamal Hicks, and I will discuss the purpose, various components, recent events, and resources that have been developed for the participants of our Cultivating Leaders pilot program. The Division of Teaching and Learning staff, along with members of SJPEC and SJTA, have worked collaboratively to develop the Cultivating Leaders program with one main goal in mind: recruit and retain a diverse team of leaders and help them develop the inter and intrapersonal skills needed to successfully serve our schools. The pathways were established by dividing our participants into job-alike cohorts. The teacher practitioner groups are staff who have expressed an interest in assuming leadership roles at their sites. Many of the aspiring administrators are teachers and practitioners who are already leaders at their schools and are interested in becoming site administrators. We have also established cohorts for all first and second year principals and first and second year vice principals. We have 66 participants, 10 aspiring administrators, 9 teacher leaders, 21 new vice principals, and 26 new principals. The learning progression for our cohorts will involve 3 main components: skill development, which will be achieved through a year-long series of workshops and professional learning opportunities; practicum, which happens when we provide opportunities for the participants to apply their learning and individualized support, which occurs through work with their mentors. As stated earlier, our main goal is to enhance and strengthen the participants' inter and intrapersonal skills, and that focus is reflected in the main topics of each of our monthly seminars. We provide training by cohort, and our first session occurred just today for our teacher practitioners and aspiring administrators. New principals and vice principals will receive training tomorrow and Thursday. Practicum, simply put, is learning by doing. And opportunities include joining district work groups and committees, shadowing experienced administrators, and subbing for them when and if the opportunity arises. We also plan to have various departments host informal get-togethers for the participants. Equity will be the first department to host and provide opportunities for individuals to learn more about the services and resources that are available. It will also provide an opportunity for leaders to discuss and work out specific things that are happening at their sites or in the classroom. And now I'd like to introduce Principals Damon Smith and Jamal Hicks, who will discuss the mentor program.
Mentoring is a reciprocal and collaborative relationship that allows each of the mentees to build solid and meaningful relationships with their more experienced peers. Each mentee was asked to fill out an interest survey, which was shared with their mentor as a means of directly addressing the needs of each individual. An important component of our program is to provide high-quality training for our mentors. This is done in 2 different ways. Each mentor will have the opportunity to participate in a Coaching for Equity training offered through the Bright Morning team. This training is offered in partnership with our equity department. We also offer monthly Zoom sessions. We call these Mentors Supporting Mentors, and provides an opportunity for mentors to share various ideas and tools with one another. Becoming an administrator can be an extremely lonely job. As teachers at a school site, we have many peers to collaborate, work alongside, and learn from. That's not saying teaching is easy, but there's a lot of support at the school site with one another. An administrator is a different realm. And as a new administrator, it becomes really clear right away. Being a mentor provides the mentee with someone to collaborate with, ask questions in a safe place, run scenarios, ask for advice, someone to support meeting timelines, and having a sounding board. I like to think it helps a mentee by giving them more confidence in their day-to-day decision-making. As a mentor myself, I've always found that I learn from the mentees as well. It's a two-way street. The support goes both ways, and often real friendships form, which increases job satisfaction and job performance and retention of our administrators, as we're more connected with others than ever before. It's a win-win for everyone involved, and I'm thrilled to be able to work alongside, mentor, and learn from Jamal.
Thank you very much. In talking with Damon, in my experiences with Teresa Cummings, what I appreciate so much about our mentorship program is it allows me to take ownership of my learning and my professional development needs. My needs are different and unique, and I can identify the skills or goals that I want to achieve. I have debriefed many times with Teresa Cummings and Damon, and it's nice to be in a situation in which you can be vulnerable. All of our conversations were authentic, and it felt like it was a two-way street. I feel very connected to Teresa and Damon. During COVID, I felt isolated. The Cultivating Leadership program is reigniting the humanity to education.
We hosted our first meet and greet on August 2nd, which was collaboratively designed and led by leaders in SJUSD, SJPAC, and SJTA. It was a wonderful setting with great energy. Practitioners and administrators who are participants sat side by side as colleagues. In addition to getting an overview of what they would be practicing and learning about, we spent time reflecting on our own top 5 strengths as determined by StrengthsFinder, and explored how any strength, when overused, can become detrimental. Think of Superman with laser eyes that don't turn off. Oh, sorry, thank you. As Ms. Calvin mentioned, today was the first seminar in the series, and it was focused on anti-bias leadership and inclusive practices. In addition to the topics and questions on the slide, we spent time learning about unconscious bias. An example would be we explored how using a single story to make assumption about a group of people and how these assumptions serve to dehumanize the individuals that we tell these stories about. So then we moved into thinking about examples we've seen in our own system, how we ourselves have unconscious bias. That is one of the most important things that we can learn as leaders, is that we all have unconscious bias. It is not something to blame and shame. It is something that we need to explore, because when left unexplored, it will continue to affect not only our system, but the staff, students, and families inside of our system. Communication is critical. So we worked with the communication team to develop a communication plan. Included in this plan is feedback. So just as in any good PDSA cycle, we have to make sure that we are collecting feedback along the way so that we are able to make adjustments. Some we can make immediately and adjust to make sure that we are meeting the needs of the people that we are trying to support. Some will be used to help us do a better job next year. After all, that's what an iterative cycle is about. We're in learning progression, is each time we do a better job. Additionally, there are monthly newsletters that go out to the system to share what we're doing and what we're learning. We have more. Our mentors, which you just heard about, also have their own specific communication pieces. So there is a mentor information, which includes nuts and bolts, such as contact information for various people in the district, how to order DIAs, various schedules, and contact logs so they can keep track how often they're in communication with each other. We will also use that information to help us figure out, do we need to increase, decrease, or think differently about the way people are being supported? We also have Cliff Notes, which if you have been around a while, we riffed on that theme. But this stands for Cultivating Leaders Facilitation Forms and is about internal messaging designed to keep our mentors in the loop on what our participants are experiencing. Our mentors are throughout the district and are not able to attend every single event we have. So we want to make sure that they are aware of the supports that are being provided.
Yeah, I knew we were aging ourselves when we used that acronym. So our next steps will be to continue to move forward with our seminar series, to support our mentors, and to begin turning our attentions to creating networking opportunities for our mentees. And that would include meeting and greeting with various departments, make sure they know everything that's available for them, and giving them opportunities to shadow our experienced leaders, among other things. And with that, that marks the end of our presentation. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Do we have any? We do. Ms. Costa.
Dr. Calvin, and Ms. Brown, Mr. Smith, and Mr. Hicks. First of all, I want to thank you for an inspiring presentation. I'm so grateful to you for restarting and enhancing leadership training that disappeared probably 10 years or more ago. It would pop back up and then disappear again. I'm really intrigued by the addition of the teacher practitioner leaders and aspiring administrators pathways, which didn't exist as part of our leadership training before, because we know that internal candidates who know our systems, our schools, our curriculum, our communities tend to be some of our strongest leaders and tend to stay with us the longest. I think it is brilliant to grow our own leaders during this time of teacher and administrator shortages. So I say job well done. I do have a few questions and you answered some of them, so I will scan my questions as I go.
Okay.
How were the teacher leader and aspiring administrators selected?
So the teacher leaders and aspiring administrators had to fill out an application, and we had a panel that was comprised of central office, SJPEC, and SJTA members. We went through the applications and we selected them based on their qualifications and what they stated in their narratives. And we also made a point of selecting people from a very diverse group. They represent ECE, elementary, secondary. So we have someone from the support center who's a part of the cohort, as well as one of the SPED centers.
Great. That was another one of my follow-up questions. Were any job categories excluded?
No one was excluded.
Okay, wonderful. What is the caseload for mentors and mentees, and how often do they meet and for how long?
So our principals who are serving as mentors, we tried to be mindful of the fact that they have sites that they have to run. So we tried to limit it to 1 or 2. We do have one principal who has three on his caseload, but 1 or 2 is usually the average. We also brought in 3 recent retirees. They have a much larger caseload. They have 8 to 10.
Okay. And how long do they meet?
So they meet, we ask that they check in with their mentees every week. We ask that 2 of those meetings be in person. I would imagine those in-person meetings can be an hour or more, just depending on what's going on with those 2 administrators. And for the weekly check-ins, we leave it up to them to decide how they want to communicate with their mentees. So it could be a phone call, it could be a Zoom meeting, it could be a text message or an email. If they just need to touch base with them every week and see how they're doing.
And then As I looked at the topics, I think you hit every major important topic in an administrator's career, and they are very globally. I think I was very impressed with the list of topics, but I wondered where the nitty-gritty issues of being an administrator would be discussed. Is it going to be at the beginning of those meetings? How are you going to go about having people learn from each other and also learn how to handle situations on a campus?
So I know that some of the mentors are actually, especially the retirees, sitting down with the principals and helping them go through certain things, helping them learn the process and handle some of those nuts and bolts things. I know that sometimes when things get real, that the mentee will pick up the phone and call their mentor, or of course, someone at central office who can support them as well. So they have lots of support.
Okay. And then lastly, as I said, I think there have been many, many administrators hired since we've had the leadership training program in the district. Can existing administrators who have more than 2 years of experience attend any of these sessions, or could they be videotaped so they could attend sessions that they were interested in by video?
Well, we don't videotape, but we do invite the mentors to join us if they would like to. So most of the mentors are the remaining administrators, but we also have the assistant superintendent of elementary and secondary who sit on our advisory, and oftentimes they will continue that work or carry on with it in their principal meetings and in their network meetings.
I would think that would be really critically important, because I'm thinking about principals that have 4 or 5 years of experience who aren't mentors and didn't get an opportunity for this training. So being able to have a way to access it, I think would be really helpful. But again, amazing job, very exciting, and I can't wait to hear updates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hernandez. Oh, Ms. Fiasco. So I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. And I have two questions. First and foremost, the title is Cultivating Leaders Pilot Program. Usually the intent of a pilot is to try something out with the hopes that figure out best practices, not so best practices, and then turn it to not a pilot. So what is the next step vision for this effort?
Well, we had many more applicants than we actually accepted for the teacher leaders and the aspiring administrators. We decided, because it is a pilot program, to keep it at 10 and 10. So our hope is next year, once we go through this first cycle, we can invite more candidates to participate. We encourage them, if they weren't selected, to apply again. I'm actually hoping we don't have as many administrators next year, but it's still to move forward and to grow. And as Shannon said, to go through that PDSA cycle and learn from what we're doing. We survey them at the end of everything. At the end of the meet and greet, we surveyed them. At the end of the seminar today, we surveyed them, and we're listening to what they're saying, and we're trying to make improvements along the way so that when the next cohort comes through, it'll be even better.
Great. And my next item is actually more of a comment, and that's just that I'm looking forward to watching it move from a pilot program to something that's got a little bit more reach, but truly becomes part of sort of how our district operates, particularly at a time when we hear across the board, of course, not just in our district, not just in our state, but across the country, the challenges that come with being in this profession at this time. I remain hopeful that this can be one of many tools that we use to really support our workforce. And I just know, right, that the purpose here is for retaining diverse quality staff and for engaging in deeper work of supporting all students. And my hope is that in coming years or in successive efforts, it might not look exactly like this, but that purpose and that goal is something that's appropriate, I think, for all of our employee groups. And it might not look necessarily like this, but I hope that we explore some future opportunities to expand that to our instructional aides, other employee groups, et cetera, that are critical to our site. And again, that doesn't mean it needs to look exactly the same, but hopefully we take some best practices and are able to sort of mold it to fit all of our employee groups. The topics as well that are covered, I think those are essential to any part of any member of our team as the broader school district. So those are just my hopes, and hopefully that's what the next iteration or a couple of iterations down the road looks like. But thank you very much for the joint presentation, and I look forward to seeing where it goes.
Ms. Grissom.
Thank you for the presentation. Most of my comments were covered, so I'll be brief. It was just great to hear about this. I'm glad that we're doing it. We know that there's a significant, we need to do more in the workforce education, right? You know, we know that we have a workforce shortage that was present before the pandemic, and we know that the moral injury throughout the pandemic is real and we're losing folks. So I'm so glad that we're putting this time and attention. One of the questions I had was, which was already answered, is there a wait list? Did everyone that want to get in? And the answer is no. It's a pilot. I totally get that. I would love to get to the point where everyone that's interested can. You know, I run organizations in my day job. I call this my night job, although it takes up my day too. And one thing that I always say, and I joke with, it's like most people get promoted into management and leadership roles because they're really good at making widgets. You know, they're really good at their job. And where we fail as leaders so often is providing that professional development to really do that next level leadership. And then we're failing that leader. You know, we're not giving them the backbone that they need. And I shouldn't say the backbone, they came with the backbone, but the background support that they need to be successful, because it's not osmosis, it's a skill set. And so I'm so glad that we're taking this time, and it's not just a workshop, it's a full-on series where folks can learn and grow. And I really appreciated what you said about it's a really lonely job. I know I feel like that as a board member too, because, you know, the Brown Act, we can't just, you know, talk, you know, and so I get that and I hear that. We all should hang out more because we can hang out with you. We just can't hang out with each other. But it's something that people should recognize and know, because it's a hard job that you guys do. So I'm glad that you have each other and that this is, you know, providing that just the collegial support and that community of practice that you really deserve. And it'll only get better. And I also really appreciated what you said about the mentor-mentee relationship. The learning goes both ways. You know, we have some folks that have been in education for so long and have such rich historical knowledge that can't be replicated anywhere. And then we have new folks that have brand new ideas that are also incredibly valuable. So watching that magic bridge and happen is what's really going to serve our kids. So thank you for the presentation. If I could be helpful in any way, I want to be helpful and make sure we're continuing and expanding this program.
Did a couple of points. One was congratulations on this program. It seems to me that this is the logical continuance of our systematic work with workforce improvement, starting with the classified people and the instructional aides career ladder program, moving through our certificated staff and the system of professional growth, as well as the kinds of opportunities that are available to the teachers through San Juan Teachers Association, now to aspiring educators and the idea that mentoring for them and support for them, and as you say, for sometimes a very lonely job, is critically important. And I want to congratulate you on this. I can't help but reflect on that this program, there's a huge amount of data and research out there that these kinds of programs are cost effective, because indeed they lead to enormously greater retention rates among the people, among the administrators and that sort of thing. So these programs, if you look at the data, generally pay for themselves in not having to replace people and getting better work out of those people. Finally, I want to reflect on that it was almost 40 years ago in 1983 when the Hughes-Hart Education Reform Act passed, and we had our first program with mentors and things like that. And I'm looking at this program and say Gary Hart would be proud. Okay, that's enough for me.
Dr. McKibben, if I could just offer a couple of quick comments. One, just another perspective as Raj and I get to work with this fantastic group on one of the topic areas. It really is a great opportunity for us to help start norming the system and reorienting that perspective to really make sure that it is site focused and supporting that practice that goes on at the site. So it really is an exciting opportunity in those topic areas that we're hitting to really have some alignment there that we probably haven't had the opportunity to have conversations around in the past. So I think it's a great piece there. And I know Superintendent Kern would want to thank all of you for your hard work, Dr. Calvin and Damon, Amberly, and Kristen. I know you're all on that advisory board, and I believe Mrs. Daltz is on that advisory board as well. Our leaders within SJTA and SJPEC who have just really been pushing this forward. It's not an easy task. And the work that goes into those sessions and making even just the logistics pieces move. Deborah's assistant Jennifer is fantastic at helping put a lot of that together. So it really does take a lot of folks to put all this together, and it is going to pay off for us.
If there's nothing further, we'll move to I2. Thank you very much. I2 is Mr. Allen, the Lcap PAC bylaws.
So we are returning with the Lcap PAC bylaws. We had this at our last meeting, and based on the conversation we had there, we return to you tonight with some changes, really moving some content around to make sure that emphasis was there that you had asked for, as well as a few other minor changes. Dr. Tornatori was not able to join us tonight, but I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. And then we are asking for action to approve this evening.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Mr. Hernandez.
I just would like to thank all those that worked so hard to make this happen. I just want to bring up one thing. I'm not trying to change it. I just want my colleagues to be aware of this. And maybe later, if we approve this tonight, that we can keep this in our mind. And if we could go to page 3 or under composition and selection of members, on the bottom paragraph, you guys see that the committee shall be limited. You guys read that? So in essence, we're basically saying, and if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, that to serve on the Lcap, you have to have a child in the district, or if the child's leaving, that you too, your term will be up. And I just, I see that and I see the intent of that. I'm okay with that. I just want us to be aware that we don't, on all the other committees that serve the district, that clause is not there. And just something to think about, that maybe there, because that obviously that will limit us as board members, because we're going to be picking, selecting 2 members to serve on this committee. We're limiting the amount of people that we are able to go select for this committee. So I just want to bring this to our attention. Think about it, because we may find that there are some very qualified people, that, have a strong background, but because they don't have a child, but live in our district and are willing to serve, they will not be able to serve on this Lcap committee. So something to think about. I just want to make sure that we all are aware of that. And I just bring to your attention. That's all I've got to say, Dr. McKibben.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll just say that I had a very similar thought that you did, Mr. Hernandez. But I said, it looks like we don't have any space for community members, which I think is saying the same thing you said in a different kind of way. And I think it's wise for us perhaps to revisit this in another year or so to see if indeed we have lost something by not having community members, or maybe we gain something. Yes, please.
I wasn't going to say something, but I am. I'm glad that we're going this direction. I do like the idea of let's see how it goes, because of course we don't want to, my only concern is, making sure that we have enough people to step up and do the work. But this was one of my strong comments last time, is we kind of center the people, empower the people and center the people that we're trying to help, and I feel that in some of our committees, it's mostly not parents. I'm the only one that has a kid attending a district school up here, and so I think that this is a way to center the people a little bit more. So I'm glad that we're doing it. I appreciate the change, but I do hear the concern as well. And I think that, you know, if there's a way for us to revisit, if we get ourselves, if it doesn't work out, or if it turns into an issue, I think we need to be able to do that to address it. And that's it.
Okay, anyone else? Other than that one, all of the concerns that I think we were raised a few weeks ago were addressed, and I appreciate the diligence that was done to attend to what the board members were saying before. And having said that, this is an action item.
I'll move the item, Dr. McKibben.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Hernandez, seconded by Mr. Costa, Ms. Costa. Ms. Costa. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that was unanimous.
Can I make one more comment?
Sure.
I just want to thank my colleagues. I know Mr. Hernandez and Ms. Costa did a lot of the work to get us to where we're at, a lot of the work. And I recognize that it's easy for me to be like, oh yeah, parents, but I wasn't the one doing all this all summer. So I recognize that. And I appreciate you both very much. You did a great job.
All right, we'll move now to item I3, unaudited actuals and 22-23 revised budget. This too is an action item.
Good evening, President McKibben, Governing Board, Mr. Allen, Mrs. Cunningham. So today I'm going to present our unaudited actuals and our 22-23 revised budget. Here's a look at our core commitments. Prioritize resources to close achievement gaps, improve teaching and learning, recruit and retain high-quality employees, and help all students reach their potential. Provide sound fiscal stewardship of community resources. Build trust by sharing useful, transparent fiscal information. Adopt a budget that consistently balances ongoing revenues and expenditures to avoid a structural deficit. Preserve an ending fund balance that ensures integrity and stability of the district. Typically, I don't read this out loud to everyone, but I thought since this is our first big presentation since adopted budget, I would. So we're going to review our 21-22 unaudited actuals for all funds. And we're going to also review the revised budget, which was our 45-day revision, which updated the budget since the governor's final budget. So today, the legal requirement is that you receive the 21-22 unaudited actuals and approve the revised budget. So here's a look at the items that were included in our 45-day revision. So we saw a huge increase in our LCFF revenues, and that was a result of the super COLA, I guess you could call it. We had our statutorily defined COLA, and then we had an additional amount that the legislature put in the trailer bill language for the complete and final budget package. That equated to 18.7 million. And you'll see we used 12.84 for our COLA. We've since learned that the Department of Finance has recalculated that. And based on how it was calculated originally versus what the final trailer bill language is, it's actually going to increase to 13.26. But that was not in our 45-day revision, so it's not included in this information. We also have some one-time state funds that were appropriated, approximately 66.3 million. Those came out in some block grants that we can use for lots of different purposes that kind of follows that local control that we saw under Governor Brown. There's going to be some more details on the next slide. And then we also saw additional funds for the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program of $12 million. And so here's the details on those discretionary block grant funds that came in. We had a learning recovery and emergency block grant, $43 million. We have until 2028 to spend these funds. And then we also received art, music, and instructional material block grant. Even though it's called an art, music, and instructional material block grant, you'll see that it covers a lot of areas that we can expend these funds. And it's really because they know that we have a lot of recovering to do from the pandemic. And so these one-time dollars are intended for that. And that's our plan to use them that way as well. And so here's our unaudited actuals. And you can see we ended with a very healthy fund balance. We saw quite a healthy surplus in our unrestricted. Some of that has to do with some of the shipping delays we had this year. We saw a lot of items that we never received. So you're going to see when we talk about the revised budget, where we had to budget some carryover for some of those items. All of our funds ended with a positive balance. The ones that experienced some deficit were our charter schools. I haven't really dug in deep to see what's causing that, but I have a feeling it's probably some lower enrollment due to COVID. I know we experienced lower attendance rates. So we'll be looking at that a little bit closer and we'll bring more information at first interim. Adult education, which is one that can deficit spend. Again, revenues are probably pretty stagnant right now. And I'm not sure what our participation rate was during the pandemic, but that's also something we'll be looking at first interim. And then child development, which I know we were preparing for the universal meals and beefing up some staff. So I believe that's attributed to that. So here's a look from adopted budget all the way to unaudited actuals for our unrestricted. And you'll see that when we came in with our estimated actuals, we actually grew in our revenues. And a lot of that was related to our interest, local revenue. Trying to think what else was in there, probably donations. We see a little bit fall out, a reduction in our expenditures of approximately $4 million. Again, that was some of that carryover we discussed for supplies and materials. Some of it was attributable to salaries and expenditures, but with the most of it being attributable to supplies, materials, and other operating expense. So here's a comparison from our adopted budget to unaudited actuals. And typically we would expect to see a big difference from adopted. We're working with a lot of assumptions. And then as you see on that previous slide, we get closer and closer with each budget cycle. And here's our 22-23 with all funds. The only funds that we revised were the general fund. The other ones remain unchanged from adopted budget, which was brought to you in June. And then here's a look side by side of our adopted budget and the 45-day revision. And so that included a 13.255 LCFF increase in our unrestricted base, and then 1.534 in the supplemental dollars. And again, that was attributable to that 12.84 COLA. We also saw an increase of 412,000 related to carryover for the POs that had some shipment delays. And then we also made a correction for a double entry that we found related to an expenditure for service agreement. We also increased our capital outlay, and that was related to the commitment for our bus replacement program. And that was part of that resolution that we brought to the board earlier in the year, last year. So our next steps, we'll just continue to monitor our economics and be cautious in committing resources, bring the greatest and latest information when we bring the next budget to you, and then continue to build system-wide understanding, which will have lots of opportunity with our new system that we'll be putting in place. Any questions?
Questions from the board, comments? Ms. Grissom.
I'm just thankful of how you always present this. It's a whole lot. I mean, you make it so seamless, and it's not seamless. I know it's not. So I just appreciation for the format that you present the materials. It's very, very helpful. So thank you for that. And calling out when there's a correction, you know, we could have glossed over that, but you call it out. So thank you for the transparency in all your work.
Anybody else? I'll do one curiosity. In this budget, there are some one-time funds and so forth. And some of those one-time funds, I believe, are in things that do require salaries and so forth, like instructional aids. And that program seems to be very successful and doing the right thing. But one of our pillars has to do with not spending on one-time funds on ongoing things. How are we mitigating that over time when we have a few years of dollars to do that, but sooner or later they won't be there?
So the intent is to use the one-time dollars to help expand the support, the additional supports that were provided with the COVID dollars. And so we knew we had 3 years to spend those funds. And now that we have these additional funds that give us all the way out to 2028, we believe we can provide those additional supports. So when those positions were originally flown, it was, temporary, one time. I think all the staff that are in those positions know that they could eventually go away. But with these one-time dollars, we will be able to stretch that out and provide those supports for longer, which we know all of our students need right now.
Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, this is an action item.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm happy to make that item to accept the unaudited actuals for 2021, 2022 and approve the revisions for the budget. Happy to make the motion. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Grissom. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, it is unanimous. We move on to item I4, the district initial bargaining proposal with San Juan Teachers Association. Mr. Thigpen.
Hi, good evening, President McKibben, board members, Mr. Allen and Ms. Cunningham, here tonight to present our recommendation to adopt the district's bargaining interests with the San Juan Teachers Association for 22-23. These were presented to the board for discussion at our last meeting, and tonight's an action item.
Questions from the board, comments? This is an action item.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Costa, seconded by Mr. Hernandez. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, it is unanimous. I5.
I5, similar to the last item, this bargaining unit is with Teamsters Local 150. And that's also our initial proposal for our contract reopeners this year. Discussed last meeting, tonight's an action item.
Questions, comments? This is item I5. And you moved. Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved by Ms. Vasquez, seconded by Ms. Costa. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, it is unanimous. I6.
In this item, the board is asked to adopt our amended initial proposal with the San Juan Professional Educators Coalition.
Questions? Comments?
I'd like to move the item.
Moved the item by Ms. Greason, seconded by Ms. Vasquez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, it is unanimous. I7.
In this item, we're asking the board to adopt our amended initial proposal for 2022-23 contract reopeners with the San Juan Supervisors Association. Happy to answer any questions you have.
And again, questions, comments? Motion moved by Mr. Hernandez, seconded by
Second.
Ms. Costa. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, it is unanimous. I8.
For our final item, this is a recommended approval of our addendum to our initial proposal for 2022-23 with the California School Employees Association.
Questions or comments? Ms. Vasquez moved the item and it was seconded by
Second.
Ms. Costa. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, and it is passed unanimously. We move now to item I9. This is one that it relates to California School Boards Association Directors at Large nominations. This is an opportunity for members of the board to fill a Director at Large vacancy seat for Asian Pacific Islander and Hispanic on the CSBA Board of Directors. Though we don't have to, this is an opportunity to make a nomination of a person for that position. Is there anyone on the board that wishes to make a nomination or discuss this? No? We will move on then. Thank you. We move on to J, board reports. Yes, Ms. Costa.
I would just like to make a statement and thank Mr. Allen for all the work that he's done for the superintendent search. It has been the smoothest of all of the processes I've been a part of, both as a staff member, as a community member, and as a board member. And I have worked with a lot of search firms over that period of time and been very frustrated over that period of time. This is the first time I can honestly say that there has been no frustration. And actually, in all of the other cases, we've had to go back quickly and change something that the search firm had started down. And we haven't had to do that this time, and I really appreciate it. And I think it's really important for the public to know that search firms cost money, and that money actually can be spent on kids. We have spent $30,000 and some districts up to $80,000 for search firms. And that's a lot of money in a classroom. So I'm really grateful we didn't have to do that. I am sorry that Mr. Allen has spent day and night making this happen for us, but I'm very appreciative. And I just wanted to publicly recognize his hard work and say thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Costa. It's been a pleasure to work with the board on this project and looking forward to the successful outcome.
Other board members have any comments to make? Okay. Seeing no further comments, this meeting is adjourned. I'm sorry, we have to do future items. Does anybody have a future item?
No.
No? Now? Now. Then he looks down and says, oh,